One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
Welcome everyone here to the Sim-Trax Broadcasting. I'm your host, Patrick Morrison, and joining me in the booth tonight is Stellar Stella once again. Stella, are you feeling more comfortable in the booth here tonight?
I sure hope so.
All right, well, we can still shake those jitters out because this is Wednesday. I cannot think of a better place to be than here with the Racing Revolution League. For all those turning in for the first time, let's go ahead and recap last week. The Vet2Track 201 at Chicagoland Speedway was a wild one and had a few cautions. He heated up a few new rivalries and had a fantastic racing. Third place came sadly down to James Loveland in the 02 machine late on the last lap for an incredible performance by Robert Rader in the 53 Ford Chapman Environmental Services car. He made up over 1 second with 5 laps to go. And let me tell you, it was a nail-biter right to the last turn for those two competitors. But taking away the night was Trevor Erhardt in the Black Rifle Coffee Chevrolet, making him the first multi-winner of the season. Coming away from such a large track, we now move to yet another track poised to wreak havoc on the Racing Revolution League. Yes, we arrive at the Vet2Track 120 at Gateway. And no, I'm not talking about the old computers. I'm talking about the 1.25-mile backwards Darlington. Constructed in Madison, Illinois, Gateway, or Worldwide Technology Raceway, this track has evolved over the years. First began in the 1960s as the St. Louis Raceway Park, and it only consisted of a 1/8 mile drag strip. Fast forward to the 1980s, and where the drag strip then got lengthened to a 1/4 mile, and a 2.6 mile road course was added and renamed Gateway International Raceway. Had enough? Not yet. Leap forward 15 more years to 1995, when the track was bought by Dover Motorsports, which incorporated a 1.25 egg-shaped oval and a 1.65 mile inner track utilizing turn 3 and 4. Fortunately, iRacing has scanned this track for what it used to be because unfortunately the track closed back down back in 2010. I'd like to take this time to give a little shout outs to our league sponsors out there, Butt Kicker, Ultimate Siding and Gutters, and of course Chapman Environmental Services. Go ahead, Stellar Stella, tell me what Chapman can do for us.
They have the full package. Chapman provides environmental management, consulting services, broad spectrum regulatory compliance, permitting, field sampling, and more. But you can get it all and get the full story at chapmanes.com.
Excellent job here tonight. So you'll get those jitters worked out here. 26, I believe 26, 4, 6, yeah, about 27 drivers are lined up for us here tonight. Let's go ahead and look and see what our conditions are going to be out here on the track. here at the Worldwide Technology. We'll kind of pass it back and forth, Worldwide Technology Raceway or Gateway Speedway. I kind of like the ring of that one. We will have 5 sets of tires here, and 6 if you want to include the ones on the car. 50% fuel limit. Absolutely no faster pairs here in the Racing Revolution League unless we're at a super speedway here. Kind of see here in the background, kind of having a little bit of trouble here tonight. I know he's running a little bit low on sleep here tonight, but not too bad. Track temperature will be a favorable 95 degrees, and check out that air temperature there, Stella. 67 degrees. So these engines going to get awesome amount of performance out of them tonight, so they should be super fast, and those tires won't take very long to go ahead and get tacked up here. Let's take a quick time at what we've got going on here and where everybody's placed so far. Right now, our 3rd place finisher last week, James Loveland, has gone ahead and taken the pole so far. Justice Murphy in the 2nd and Logan Romney 3rd. So I know Logan Romney in the 11 car, he ended up in a lot of trouble last week. Hopefully he's able to kind of straighten that out a little bit. Caleb Gilbert, we're kind of taking a peek at him here in the 40 Perrier car. Right now he is in the 13th position. He'll have a lot of spots to make up here. We'll see if his lap here can get him any faster. Keep in mind, with this actually being egg-shaped, a lot of people compare this to Darlington. Darlington, normally 1 and 2 are your big, wide sweeping, a lot more banking, and 3 and 4 are the pinch. This is actually going to be the opposite. 1 and 2 are going to be the pinch, and 3 and 4 are going to be the long sweeping turns. So a lot of guys are kind of expecting a lot of cautions out here tonight, but we're going to have to see really what these guys can make it happen. You know, I've seen a lot of great racing out of a lot of these guys here on the track. And let's go ahead and take a peek at our grid for tonight and how we're starting. James Loveland, 1st place with Justice Murphy coming in 2nd. So awesome job there by Justice Murphy and BDE Motorsports. Trying to turn his luck around here. He's hoping not to end up in a whole lot of trouble. There from Justice Murphy. Logan Romney will be coming 3rd. Trevor Erhardt, last week's winner, in 4th. Robert Rader in a favorable 5th position there with Grant Thorpe on the outside of him in the 77. I kind of like what he's got going on there with that Tennessee car. Kevin Orlando, 7th. Scott Negus will be 8th. Rounding out our 5th row here, we got Steven Sommer here, but we're waiting for Peyton Presley to load in for the 7th. Let's go ahead and move on to Alex Berube in the 11th. Jeremy Burns, where are all his fans out there in the chat? I'm waiting to see what you guys have to say. Hopefully we're nice, calm, cool, and collected this time. They're in the 12th position. Caleb Gilbert remains 13th. Brandon Richardson, 14th. Nick Alves, if he can, we call him Blinky here, and 20 is going to be in the 24th Chevrolet in the 15th. Hopefully Nick Alves can kind of straighten that out there a little bit. John Fike in the 09 and 16th. Tay McDonald, 17th. Parker Johnson will be in the 18th position.
Bring up your page.
Followed by Stanfield. Oh, man, look at you on top of it as we're getting going. Let's see where we are. David Stanfield, 19th. Michael Bennett, 20th. We got Kynan Jones in the 21st. Jacob Sirkovich in the 22nd. We saw Kynan spinning out there a little bit. Hopefully he's able to kind of keep that under control. These next gens are very tough to handle. I mean, they're not easy. Not by even a little bit. Albert Likens, 23. Looks like he's rocking the Fudge Round 16 here tonight. Ray Lane, or Ray Lene, if you'd like to call him that, here in the 24th position. And that'll go ahead and round out our field here for the rest of these guys with Alex Kenton in the 25th position. Looks like Daryl Johnson will be 26th and Adam Bowden in the very back of the field there in the 83 machine. Hopefully Bowden is able to kind of churn his way up there toward the front.
Yeah, but that 83 machine looks pretty nice with that STX.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I like the way everybody kind of slaps a little bit on the side there, a little extra here for Simtrack's broadcast, and go ahead and getting a little bit of that advertising out there. Already getting a little dry mouth here, but that's okay. A lot of people out here ready for this one. So, really, for some reason, I'm glad we're at the egg shape. I was a little nervous we were going to be at the road course here today. I know these guys aren't real happy about how this one's going to go so far. Any of you out there in the chat, if you're considering going ahead and putting a comment down there, these guys are saying this may be a caution fest on this one. They hope not, because it's going to be difficult, especially for these cars to hook. They're going to try to snap coming out of these turns. So throttle control will be a major factor here. Robert Rader kind of watching the 11 of Logan Romney blinking there in front of him. Boy, that's not what you want to see. But all right, Barney in the booth. Green flag is out. James Loveland gets that first takeoff, first across the line, and is going to lead us on our first lap here so far. Really, we'll see how this first line determines. You'll kind of see the stack up right there. Scott Negus almost got into the back of Grant Thorpe there. Good control. Man, Logan Romney just blinking out there just a little bit. He's got to be careful. We don't want to lose him out there on the track. Loveland enjoying a lot what he did last week. A lot of laps led. He's just got to stay out front. Doing really well in that 0-2 Ford here. Justice Murphy second. Grant Thorpe has moved up 3 positions. So he got a good run on that turn. Trevor Erhardt fourth. Logan Romney's dropped back 3 now to Scott Negus. And Negus has moved up 3. And Scott Negus being in that 39 Ford is the one I'm talking about. And we already have our first caution. I believe Ray Lane may have been caught up in this one.
Oh, no. Out of curiosity, I have to ask a question because I'm transfixed by the blinking of Romney there on the number 11. Do you find that the spotters can still see where they're supposed to be?
In a sense. The spotter can see you, just everybody else can't, unfortunately, and that really just starts becoming a problem. You know, they can say they'll still tell you that somebody's on the outside of you. They'll still tell you that somebody's on the inside, but the other guy has no idea you're there. And sometimes iRacing has a little trouble guessing, and that's I normally get over the radio and start telling people, hey, I can't see you. I'm gonna race the best I can. If we connect, it's gonna happen. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. Unless they kind of try to swing that ping. I know a couple of guys try to reset their routers, but let's take a look here. Ray Lene here in the black and white car all the way back next to Kynan Jones in the 85, and I think something may have happened here. I am up in the Michelin chopper view here, trying to see if they're take a peek. All right, no netcode. Looks like Kynan just tried to snug over a little bit, try to hold him up toward that top line for the favorable turn here in 1 and 2, and Ray Lane actually really gets smoked out here on his first lap. Good job there by Bowden. Oh, man, but Bowden.
Nope.
Yeah, Bowden kind of takes that bite there.
Yeah, Bowden still tagged the wall on that one. It looks like he is still having some trouble steering.
That left front's locked up.
On and off the track.
Yeah, you see that left front's locked up on him? So, yeah, that's going to do it for him. And I think Scott Negus here. Uh-oh. Not sure if something happened there. Let me see if I can roll this back here just a little bit. Because it looked like Scott Negus had a problem here later on in the lap as well.
Yeah, he was way up front. He shouldn't have been involved in this this back end conflict.
No, he shouldn't have here. All right, let's take a look here at Scott Negus. See in the 39 what happened here. Caution's already out. I just want to take a peek at him here because he did go slinging through the infield.
Yep. Just drove right over there to have a picnic.
Uh-oh. I don't know if something happened. Do keep in mind that hurricane is coming up from the coast, and I think some of these guys may or may not have some trouble here tonight, especially with connection issues. Yeah, because the 39's kind of still stuck here.
Now, will they go ahead and extend the cautions until that car is replaced?
If you mean by replaced, like he's finally able to reconnect, no.
Okay.
No, it will not put him back on the track. iRacing kind of enters a fail-safe there, and to go ahead and puts him into pit is where you will find him now. So unfortunately, it looks like Scott Negus right now is sitting in pit lane, along with Adam Bowden, who is in pit as well. I believe he wants to get going. He's kind of broken down. Ray Lane, and it looks like Richardson's down here as well. And I don't know if he's a part of connection issue as well. So, like I said, a lot of drivers may be kind of flip-flopping here, and I'll keep tabs out there in the chat and see if anybody else is saying, you know, they're losing connection or anything like that.
Well, speaking of chat, we have Christian O'Neill's out here already, rooting on the Mountain Man.
All right. Definitely excited to see how the Mountain Man does get it done right now, up 3 positions. pace car lights are still on. Right now it's showing Jeremy Burns lined up for that 9th position right now. So really interesting to see. Like I said, it's good to see that we are getting new drivers out here to this to the Racing Revolution League, and he is a consistent top 10. I mean, that is awesome here by Jeremy Burns, really putting on a great show for these guys here, and not to really knock Alex Berube as well. Alex Berube in that 19, I mean, kind of that no name came out of nowhere, and he's up here, getting solid at least top 15s. I know he's been kind of tangled up in a couple there, but yeah, like you said, definitely being a contender up here for a lot of these drivers. Yeah, Logan Romney still having a little bit of issue there, and like I said, I don't know if some of these guys are on the outside of that hurricane down there, and that will be caused by something of that.
Looks like they've repositioned him.
Yeah, he may be. Some drivers will actually opt for an EOL, end of line penalty, and go ahead and dial it back in case there's a connection issue. He still wants to compete in the race. If he really, honestly, if you kind of wait it out here, stay behind everybody, let everybody wreck each other out, you can come back and actually save it. All right, James Loveland, Justice Murphy up here in the front. Going to take it here at the Geico restart zone. And James Loveland actually starting on the outside line this time. Interesting choice by him, but he definitely gets the jump there on Justice Murphy. As these guys do get piled away again, only 7 laps into this one. Get pushing around there. Looks like Robert Rader's kind of get jammed up there on Erhardt. But he's got a friend in need on the outside there with Kevin Orlando, so it seems to be working well. Really, it's got to give you that good, comfortable feeling when it's guys you've raced with before. You're behind Erhardt, you're watching Kevin Orlando work his way around, you got Peyton Presley on the outside of you. I mean, everything's calm, cool. I mean, you're in a safe place. Guys aren't going to turn down into you and really kind of smoke you out of the entire race. But, they aren't going to give you the position either, as they're going to get pushed around here. Looks like Loveland's going to get a good stretch here. Still a good move here by Trevor Erhardt, trying to see if he can beat Kevin Orlando out here. But it looks like they just do a quick little switch-up move. Raider finally gets this favorable outside line that seems to be working for everybody else right now. And that'll move him up into the front. Now he's broken into the top 3. Kevin Orlando trying to do the same, trying to read the same sheet of music here, working his way on the outside, see if he can use a little bit of that draft to get him pulled around Grant Thorpe. But Grant Thorpe holding on tight. We'll see Grant Thorpe actually rocking out that Tennessee Volunteer paint scheme there. Cole Voles. Yep, he is not rocking the Dollar General 77 here tonight, so good paint scheme change for him.
Isn't Tennessee and Dollar General kind of synonymous?
Easy. Ooh, and the 21, you see, kind of had to lock him up there. Trevor Erhardt did a good job. Peyton Presley kind of let up there just a little bit to go ahead and kind of let that favorable bump for Trevor Erhardt, and that way it doesn't mess them both up there. You guys will see it looks a little cloudy there as they're coming past up to the finish line. I think there's kind of a patch of dirt there that kind of gets a little whirlwind, so it'll look a little bit foggy there on the track. Right now, fastest driver on the track is Robert Rader with a 33.92 right now. Really, and these guys in the top 3 are starting to separate. Kevin Orlando's then 4th, and he's already fallen off by almost a second here, as the top 3 are starting to take away. Yeah, you see that dust cloud I was talking about there. So Robert Rader, I know he wants to be out front. He always talks about out front, clean air is a win. But he's got a lot to contend with here. And right now we only had 1 caution so far. From a mishap between Ray Lane and Kynan Jones, and away we go. So keep in mind, Scott Negus also reconnected. He was a few laps down, I believe. Scott Negus is 2 laps down. Lane is back on the track at 3 laps down. So a couple of these drivers are able to return back here to the track. See if we can rotate back here in the field just a little bit. See how Tay McDonald's doing. I know there was a good battle last week. Tay McDonald got kind of nudged a couple people. I believe him and Sirkovich connected. And those two one right behind the other here. You see Sirkovich kind of cut down there on Alex Kenton. And somebody I don't see here tonight, actually, is Ted Rekich. Ted Rekich is not out here on the track. He may be kind of on a hiatus here tonight. We've got a few drivers that were unable to make it, but that's okay. Next week, we have an off week. These guys are going to go ahead and take a rest. It's been 6 races in a row. Going to go ahead and take a rest, and then we'll be right back after that. We double check 100% and see where we end up. Off week will be the 5th, and we will resume on October the 12th at Atlanta. That's going to be a good race there. Atlanta, you get a lot of fast laps for the Erhardt Group 200, 163. 163 laps on that track. Looks like Parker Johnson's trying to get a little more speed out of that car. That thing is just not one hook for him, especially there on that inside line. But Parker Johnson gets his way around and away he goes. But yeah, you kind of see him triangulate this turn, and really dangerous. Got to watch out there toward the top, almost bringing a 3-wide situation. Circovich. All right. Sorry, kind of watching it there just for a little bit. Nervous about that 18 car. Really, where he chose to be was going to be the deciding factor of that 3-wide condition. Parker Johnson, I know, was definitely one to work his way up. Parker Johnson right now sitting back here in the 16th position. A lot of cars moving up. Right now, our fastest mover is Alex Kenton, up 11 positions in the 14th area. Trying to keep an eye on anybody rotating around up front. Jeremy Burns is back to the 10th. We know he started breaking farther into the 10, but not as much. John Fike. Rotate up here to John Fike. John Fike is up to the 9th position. He's up 7 positions, so very quick there in his Ford, being able to make good positions. And it seems everything's kind of calming down back here just a little bit. You know, everybody kind of maintaining, realizing there's a lot of race here to go. I mean, we're only getting started on lap 16 out of 120 here, but a lot of good racing. You know, these guys are going pretty fast around this track. Right now I'm seeing some of these top speeds over 100, almost 170 miles an hour out there. As we're taking a look here at Michael Bennett and Berube kind of battling it out here. Pop up a little dashboard here so you guys can see kind of what speed they're getting around this track here. Really, that's what you're here is these guys getting just really a good angle and, you know, kind of outlasting each other. I know they said they had a practice the other day. A couple of these guys are on the backup car. Just, you know, just miscommunication. The car doing something it wouldn't expect, and around they would go.
Well, I think at this point they're spaced out enough that each one can take their preferred line on the racetrack, and I think that'll make a lot of difference to if they feel good on the inside. You know, they won't be pushed so far to the outside, you know, lose their rear end.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of yes, in a sense, but I think once these tires start wearing down here, probably another 5 laps or so, we're going to end up with some problems. And just as I say that, we got a problem. I hope Lane didn't get caught up in that one again. And that is going to bring out our second caution here for tonight. Like Circovich is down there in the grass. All right, let's see. Let's get right to it. Ray Lane. Ooh, Circovich. Man, and Lay caught again. That car's starting to look like a tin can here.
Yeah.
Of that
tin foil rolled up in a ball and then tried to re-expand it in the shape of a car.
Yeah, really got to give it to his pit crew right now for being able to get him and keep him out there on the track. We're going to take an kind of a top shot here. See if I can get our Michelin chopper view. See if the chopper or the blimp had a better shot here. And the chopper it shall be. Okay, here was the 3-wide situation. It looks like we got Lycan, Circovich, and Lane. That's starting from the inside to the outside here. Kind of see if the 16 connected with the 18 or if these things snapped. What the world?
Did 18 come down on 16 first and then overcorrect?
Yeah, I'm unsure. I actually want to take a look here at the 18. Let's see. I want to take a look at Sirkovich at that left rear of his car here. I know we got a camera set up there for him, and let's see if he connects on this 16, because all of a sudden his car just kind of turns right here. See? No contact.
No.
All right, so that only leaves us one other place that we can determine what in the world happened here. Take a guess.
No, can't be Michelin Chopper View.
Absolutely not. Cockpit view. So let's take a ride here with Jacob Sirkovich.
Wrong again. You keep me on my toes. You show me different views every time.
Yeah, something happened right there. Let me roll it back just a little bit before we get back under green here. See the rear view mirror. Watch the wheel. Like there was a tap. I'm wondering if he ended up a wheel spin, because you see the RPM spike up over red. Did you see it? I'm wondering if he got on and then the wheel spun. Uh-oh.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Netcode.
Nah, I don't know about netcode. We'll let it go. All right, for a couple of these other drivers down here, especially, I'm gonna take a look here. See Logan Romney down pit. No, Albert Likens says he came down pit, and Jacob Sirkovich kind of bent it here. A couple of these other drivers trying to get a quick top off. Look at that. There's Caleb Gilbert came down. Brandon Richardson came out. Ray Lane, of course, back down there, hammering this thing back out. Bowden, I think he's still broken. Let's rotate back up front here. As it looks like Robert Rader, at this point, showing he has the lead.
Now we will have a stage caution at 35. Any time after 30 is going to be considered the stage caution. So, do you think these guys went in? Because you were saying within the next, we're going to be looking at tire degradation.
Yeah, at some point. The only guys who have not pit yet is Rader and Kynan Jones. So these two guys in these Fords up front, that they have yet to pit. Everybody else pit back here on lap 19. I'm looking somewhere, some guys between 10 seconds and others between 15 seconds. Possibly 4 tires or just right sides of fuel. Got a lot of laps here to go, just under that 100 race here.
Yeah, Kynan is saying that he's never raced here in these vehicles, and that he had no practice for this track. So some of his shakiness, we'll call it, could be due to lack of practice. I think the guys up front would say that they have been out there practicing.
Yeah.
They're very good about that.
Yeah, they're definitely trying. I give it to Kynan. He's up 19 positions. You see where he is now, but it makes it much more difficult trying to figure out the track on race day. We're trying to figure it out, 5 minutes before qualifying. It makes it a lot tougher. I know, like I said, I think he's been dealing with a little bit of sleep trouble, and that kind of adds to the issue of, how his dexterity going to be tonight. Is he going to be able to continue racing with these guys for, let's say, another hour or so here in these tight racing conditions that the Racing Revolution puts on? So we'll see how this works out for him as he's rolled back to the 6th position.
He should consider some Dubby.
Dubby energy drinks. Oh, you want to talk to me about Dubby? Go on.
No! Well, I love this stuff because it's formulated to give you that focus and give you that energy without the jitters and crashes that, the others do, or even coffee. But on top of that, these guys have their very own patented neurofactor that enhances their cognition, memory, even facilitates learning. So if you want a 0-calorie, sugar-free, no artificial coloring, delicious fruit drink with a kick, consider getting Dubby Energy Drink.
And Michael Bennett is around.
Oh, no.
In the 14 machine. As you were kind of going through that, it looked like Michael Bennett got turned around. I saw John Fike get a little loose there, and then all of a sudden it looks like everybody else kind of came undone on that one. Michael Bennett, unfortunately here, already seeing smoke. I believe out of Jeremy Burns. Let's take a quick look here. We are looking at the 14, but kind of watch on the edge of our screen here, and you'll see it looks like Tay McDonald and Jeremy Burns connect. Right there.
Yes.
You see Fike riding super high, but watch Jeremy Burns. He must have tuned in to some of my broadcasts of this dirt racing I've been doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But Bennett here, and the Smart Wave Solar Chevrolet, around, and then Burns, unable to collect, and kind of ricochets off that 14 machine. I definitely expect to see the radio lighten up after this one.
I thought for sure Burns had made a good correction on that and was back on the path.
Yeah, not a good one there. You can obviously see it. Doesn't look like the toe link's broken. All tires are turning. He does have some damage on the front there. I don't know about Michael Bennett here. Let's take a peek at him and see if he can get rotated around here. It looks like that car is still pretty solid. He is going to be fighting some damage, though.
Good.
Well, I don't want to knock Jeremy Burns. He did a great job trying to hold on to it. I think just that extra snap back is not what he expected. It went okay. He drifted through that turn, held it straight, and then I don't know if secondary contact happened after that. Let's take a ride here along with Jeremy Burns and see what happens here.
Oh, yes.
So he did. There was secondary contact. All right, Michelin Chopper View, time to do your job. Let's see kind of who connected with him at the same time. I'm not sure if, man, just look at all this crazy close racing here. As we're looking at Jeremy Burns kind of top end here, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, watch Presley. Little bump there. You see Fike up into the wall. McDonald, boy, he got super hot into that turn. I think he just had a heck of a run, just didn't lock it down. Burns saves it. Edge is right there in front. Yeah, I can't blame the 8, except right. Yeah, it looks like 8 straight. Yeah, Burns is trying his best to hold it straight. We even sat there in that cockpit view, and you did see where he was trying to slow it down and keep it under control. But a lot of damage out of these cars here.
I think that might have been the beginning of it, is Burns checking up just a little bit because the two in front of him made contact, and then he just got on the 73 behind him.
Yeah. All right. That'll bring out our third caution. We haven't even made it to the stage yet. I'm figuring some of these guys are probably going to calm it down just a little bit. Kynan Jones still is yet to pit. He's trying to see if he can get a little strategy here. I don't blame him. I would not want to burn off an extra set of tires, especially at this track that is so demanding on tire wear. So maybe, we saw how that happened last week. Robert Rader actually took 2 extra tires than everybody else, and it showed. I mean, just the amount of speed he had out there really kind of, was just able to really push his way toward the front. We kind of thought he was down and out, but no, he was not.
To gain a full second in 3 laps, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that does have a little flashback. I don't know if he's going to hate me for this, but I would say that's flashbacks of Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. Just somehow out of nowhere, the final 10 laps of that tire conservation paid off, and away he would go. But let's go ahead and get to some of our guys who ended up in that caution here. Jeremy Burns back to the 17th position now. So he's got a sea of cars in front of him. He's got to be really kind of hanging his head on that one. Can't blame him too much. Tay McDonald back here right behind him again. So I think the caution came out. It locked him into place. So I know these guys are, like I said, probably going to have some words here. But as long as they can keep it calmed down and just get this race, let's get to the stage, and then we'll hash it out after that. For some of these guys who did not pit, Robert Rader will definitely be coming in. Kynan will definitely be coming in. But Robert Rader going to take us from the restart. And we've seen him all year, even last season. That restart is really kind of his forte. He knows really how to set it up and get it going. As he pulls away, gets that good separation off the line there. But I don't know if any of these guys with that extra set of tires there will start helping out. If anybody's been getting bumped or banged around, any bent panels, before the stage would be a good idea. you know, rather than using the stage to do that. Oh, man. I believe that's Berube there on the inside of Trevor Erhardt. So, like I said, you know, Berube, one of those new guys here, you know, in the league, is just, I mean, showing what he can do. But you see Grant Thorpe taking a peek there on the inside of Robert Rader. Oh! Man, did you see that checkup?
Very, very close with the Black Rifle Coffee. That was a good checkup on 19.
Yeah, Trevor Erhardt was kind of really had to check up there in one. Looks like Grant Thorpe is going to try to give it a shot here, see if he can take this lead. And he does. Pulls away. Look at that. Away he goes. Robert Rader, what in the world?
It's stopping.
Yeah, bled off a lot of speed there. I don't know if something's happening here. We'll kind of keep an eye on him as he's rolling back around here with Loveland. John Fike just passed him in the 09. So our new race leader, Grant Thorpe, Trevor Erhardt, and Alex Berube up in the front three. Peyton Presley in the top 5. He's in 4th now. And Rader's back in 5th. I don't know quite what happened there. I don't know if he overheated the tires or like I said, these guys pitting and getting those extra 2 tires, if all of a sudden they just kicked in. I mean, we kind of didn't get too many laps in there on lap 19, about 4 or 5, and then they started tacking up there, and then we're back under caution. Yeah,
These
watch
guys,
out
I think, are going to roll through him too. They are right on his rear.
Justice Murphy, hold it. Good save there by Justice Murphy. Good save. Good save, and I'm sure he's pretty mad now. I mean, he is not really had a whole lot of luck here starting the beginning of this season here. He's been fighting, battling from back to front, and every time he gets close, he keeps kind of getting smothered out here. Hopefully Justice Murphy is able to turn this around here.
Yep, he's going to take Ray Lane on the inside.
Justice Murphy still running fast. He doesn't have any damage. Ray Lane still battling a lot of aerodynamic issues. Justice Murphy, as of right now, he is sitting in 13th place into the points. Good showing tonight could easily break him into the top 10.
Rader seems to be holding his 5th position, but Kynan has gone down from 6th to 10th.
Yeah, oh man, and you see it, like I said, we're starting to see everybody loosen up here, and I think
4th
Parker
caution.
Johnson may have been it. And as you say that, I don't know if something happened to Kynan, because if Kynan was in 10th here, if Kynan is out. Yeah, he may have the toe. I don't know if he is broken, but we're you know what? I mean, immediately, we're going back to this one. We got to figure out what in the world happened, and I think, like I said, I'm going to let most of these guys kind of hash this out. We're kind of be impartial to this one. Stella, if you kind of see here on the screen, Parker Johnson, the 44, you see Kynan here, and
Okay, you called a 44. I'm looking at what's on the screen, and I don't see a 44.
no, 48 of Parker Johnson.
Okay, babe, sorry.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. All right, let me see if I can get us a better angle of the contact here. Because I know even here, you can see Robert Rader having some trouble up there in the front as well on this same lap. And Parker Johnson just can't seem to get the right angle on this one. Kind of gets smothered out. I want to take a look. Let's see if we can get the right front suspension. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm seeing at least 4 cars.
Yeah, let's try to get the right front suspension here and see the contact between Parker Johnson and Kynan. Clink. Right there. Yeah, I don't know how, who, or why, but it happened. So I see the 8 of Daryl Johnson, 48 of Parker Johnson.
He's rolling pretty good.
Yeah, Kynan, he's broken. And that will go ahead and round out our stage here.
Hey, there's Bowden. He's back on the track.
Still alive. Still alive. That goes ahead and rounds us out. I don't know of anybody who may or may not pit at this point. Right now, everyone has pit except Berube and Albert Likens here in the front. Berube last pit on 19. Likens last pit on 25. Now, what may be a good idea is we may end up in a long stretch, and these two guys are going to hang out just one more lap. And that'll be enough. Sometimes it'll call, you'll be able to save another 3/10 of fuel, and sometimes that's all it takes, to win the race here at the end. But seeing the pace car lights are still on, pit road will be open until the lights go off, and then after that, no one can pit. If you do, that's kind of it for you.
They give you an EOL or a black flag.
Yeah, for entering a closed pit.
Got it.
Right now, David Stanfield, I believe, was our other driver that was in that accident, seeing that he's down there in the middle. Still in pit. We got about 2 minutes on that repair there, so we'll see how long they are allowed to stay on pit road and get that thing kind of hammered out here. And it looks like Berube and Likens are going to stay out and bring us to our restart here tonight. Interesting call.
Well, when was their last pit?
Berube on 19 and Likens on 25. Everybody else is pit on 35.
Ooh.
Yeah, Berube may be taking a real gamble here. And what I think he would be gambling on at this point is actually kind of wait it out here and expect a caution. And when the caution comes, I'll be the one on fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. I mean, that may be, if that ends up being the case, excellent. If this ends up being a long stretch, he's going to be kind of off cycle from everybody else. But, it's a good thought. I mean, it's getting off cycle from other people a lot of times wins races. If you're pitting with everybody else, if you're racing like everybody else, you're not moving up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to change the flow. You got to be the different one in the pack to make it happen. Now, yes, it can burn him here, but it may work out. We still got a lot of race here left to go.
Okay, well, caution lights are out. Excuse me. Pace car lights are out. So we are coming in soon.
Not a problem. All right, that is going to wrap out our fourth caution. A lot of guys got tangled up in that one. Parker Johnson, Darrell Johnson, Kynan Jones, and David Stanfield. And that'll bring Berube here in the 19 Toyota, bring us to our next restart. We've seen him lead a lot of laps before, but Albert Likens, good to see him up toward the front. Right now, Albert Likens is up 21 positions from where he started this race. So this is definitely good flip-flop for him. We'll see if that the 16 Fudge Round Chevrolet can stay out front. Says he is, excuse me, a Ford. Boy, Ford Chevy. People are going to have me for that one. Albert Likens, gets loose. And you see the heat cycle on those tires just didn't stick on that one. So he's got to watch. The only way you can really change that a little bit is by changing that brake bias and kind of aim it more toward the rear of the car. That way it'll help the front end of the car turn. I'm no genius or anything, but a little change here. As he gets to the pinch, yeah, you can see rides way up in that turn, and now Nick Alves is looking at him in the 7th position. So let's go ahead and rotate back up here toward the front. Berube, Presley, look at that. Peyton Presley doing a great job up here in the front, hanging out in the 2nd position, in the 7 Chevrolet up there. Followed by Grant Thorpe, 3rd, Robert Rader in 4th, and Kevin Orlando rounding out our top 5. Guys are super fast here tonight. I do want to rotate back to somebody I think I see kind of tumbling up back here, right outside the top 10, Justice Murphy. Justice Murphy, we talked about him before. You kind of see him sneaking there right where Tay McDonald is. But he is behind Loveland and Erhardt, so a lot of clean drivers around him. But if he can get a little help from Caleb Gilbert here on the outside, he'll be able to kind of break free of that 73. That 73 trying to definitely kind of hang him up high in the turn. As the 73 dives low, looks like Likens. You kind of see Likens collecting up here. So now Loveland's going to have to start talking through the chat and make that squeeze. Oh, yeah. All right, Loveland squeezes toward the inside. Erhardt gives him the move. And Justice Murphy may have to file suit if he wants to stay alive. There we go. Justice Murphy down, so now that leaves Caleb Gilbert last to squeeze back into line. I don't know. In Tay McDonald, he races hard in that 73. He is not going to give up that spot easily. So Caleb Gilbert in the 40 machine. Trying to see if he can squeeze by here just a little bit, but it looks like Likens has kind of mellowed out here a little bit. He may be getting back into those tires and starting to stick now, so now maybe he's starting to mellow out and getting around. Alex Kenton will be the next one right behind him. So Caleb Gilbert and Tay McDonald we're looking at here in the 40 and the 73. I'll try to rotate up here too. Trevor Erhardt, who's really battling hard with Steven Sommer here. Steven Sommer's only picked up about one position from where he started here tonight. Trevor Erhardt back down 5, and I believe we got a guy around. I don't know if Tay McDonald got spun around. All right,
I don't know,
now,
but pieces and parts are flying.
Yeah, I want to keep an eye here on Tay McDonald. I believe Bennett and Johnson also got it too. Yeah, that may be it. You see that right front wheel's broken off, so tow truck for him.
Delta's down. Delta's down.
And Bennett. Looks like Bennett may have survived. All right. And let's go ahead and get to that caution replay here. Kind of see how this... What in the world happened here? And I hope this wasn't a squeeze. A 3-wide squeeze here coming down the backstretch. From what I see here, Tay McDonald, looks like Alex Kenton and John Fike in the 09. We'll see how the 09 does. Ooh. Yep, and this is what starts it. Tay McDonald looks like he survives. I want to take one more look at John Fike's angle. And see if we can get a better shot at what happens here. Yeah, you see the amount of gap between those two cars? So that would be... Come on.
Net code?
Net code.
Net code.
There you go. Little net code there. But what gets me is you see Parker Johnson. Watch him. I want to rotate to Parker Johnson. I think he tries to avoid the wreck. Hits the grass on the left and that... Yeah, he just can't stop it. Bam. Destroys the car. Now, I know it says Michael Bennett may have been in some trouble here, but we'll see if Bennett kind of catches back up. And if he ends up in any of this. See John Fike locking him up. Bennett. No.
Just a love tap.
Oof. Not exactly the best situation here. I know we've taken a ride along here with Parker Johnson. Now, I kind of want to see. I don't know what happened from his angle here. Parker Johnson. Wow.
Yeah, I'd sit still too for a second until my eyes stopped twirling.
Yeah, kind of interesting. It just goes to show you, you exit that racing surface, that's what's going to happen. And it just it has folded Parker Johnson up. I believe that one's heading back to the garage. Yeah, the 48 of Johnson is in the garage. I believe he will be our first racer to expire for the race. Kynan Jones still sticking it out there in pit, trying to get that one hammered out. See how he's doing. Car looks like it's almost back in one piece here. He's right now under 11 minutes of repair. Logan Romney is still down pit here, trying to square that one away a little more. He's up to 2 minutes. John Fike. I believe Fike is now taking it back to the garage. Daryl Johnson in the 8.
Yes, Fike is out.
Man. As a lot of drivers kind of tanked out on that one. So Fike and Parker Johnson are out so far. Everybody else is still trying to hammer out some of these dents and get back out on the track. And really, it's just a matter of picking up positions. You know, when you start getting that 6 to 20 lap down area, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's already a hard hill to climb here, and it's just so so much farther. But I never saw where Romney ended up getting in an issue. Let me see if we can check real quick. Ooh. What in the world happened there? Hold on just a second. I want to see what ended up causing the 11. If anything happened to the 11. I think 11 may have clipped the wall here.
Yeah, I don't think he'd voluntarily run and go Baja.
Yeah, because it's showing him as a crash state. I'm not seeing that at this point. Yeah, he's trying to make that cut toward pit. Alright, let's get us back live. Top 3, Berube, Presley, Robert Rader, Grant Thorpe, and Nick Alves. Nick Alves, all right, actually getting a good run here. We did see him getting in a bump there in one of those early wrecks. Kevin Orlando, Sumner, Loveland, Murphy, and Trevor Erhardt in the top 10. This is going to be a good shootout here toward the front. Berube going to bring us to another restart. Peyton Presley's got to be hard on that loud pedal to get pulled away. Gets a little late, so Robert Rader's going to get that favorable shot there toward the outside. But does Rader pressure him farther down into this turn? Oh, they make contact. Here we go. Getting a good push. You see Kevin Orlando a little gun shy about riding high into the turn here. Oh, man, I think we are back under caution, are we not? Yes, we are. And I believe the 18 of Jacob Sirkovich has bent it here. Forgive me out there, everybody. I did not have that up fast enough trying to get up there for that replay. Got so many cautions. We're clicking on too many things. So let's go ahead and figure out what happened to Jacob Sirkovich here. Boy, this is going to be nasty. This is going to be nasty. All right, Jacob Sirkovich in the 18 Saints car. I don't believe Ray Lane is a Saints fan, but let's see what he thinks about the Saints here. I'm not 100% sure on this one.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm having a small technical issue on my end.
That's all right. We'll
be
let
with you.
Yep.
Just a second.
Yep. Go ahead and hammer that right on out. We'll be right back. All right, and we'll be right here. Let's take another look. I want to take a ride along here with Ray Lane and see if maybe there was a mechanical issue. Watch the wheel. What in the world happened there? Weird. All right. Dude, that was... What in the world happened there? Let's go ahead and find out where our guys are here on the track.
Somebody's getting a lucky dog.
Yeah, it is possible. I was say, did you see anybody go around? I think Jeremy Burns is in pit right now. I think he's trying to offset a little bit. Right now he's about 34 seconds down pit road so far, back in the 19th position. Probably trying to hammer out some of those dents from that earlier accident. Yeah, definitely.
He's been running 17th, about 10 seconds back. Quite a while.
Yeah, but you see all that damage there on that right front of his car, so he's still having to contend with that. 51 laps in the books here at Gateway Speedway, or Worldwide Technology. And a lot of hard driving by a lot of these drivers out here. I'm not sure if we're running into some connection problems for what's going on.
Yeah, you know, this time last year, it was announced that this Gateway would be on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule for the very first time. So on June 1st of this year, it was the first time they had a sellout announced for this track. 5,000 ticket deposits were made. And they say NASCAR's on a decline.
Yeah, It depends which angle you're coming from. The problem is NASCAR's changing the racing style so much that some of us are having trouble keeping up. Others like it, some don't. I'm a little more old school. I like how the 87s, if there's not a chance of some serious injury, it's almost not racing anymore. But but just being able to, where's that 5-lug pit stop? Where when pit stops mattered. I mean, it's getting so weird now that just money wise, people not the outside guys. It's just so much harder for him to get into the sport.
Well, they're looking at $10 million is what you need to field a car for the season. I mean, no little guy is ever going to be there.
Yeah. I knew even Xfinity Series, they were talking at least, I think it was $250,000 to be on the quarter panel for one race. And that's, and it's some, I believe even Kevin Harvick said about 3 years ago, if we don't win at least $2.5 million between sponsors and placing, we didn't pay for the car to race that day. That's you know what I mean. And that number just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger each year we go. And seeing that they're talking about these cars getting starting to go electric, I think it's just I don't know if electric cars have come that way. And you get the stands shaking, the noise from these cars. I've got to know what kind of noise an electric car puts out at 170 miles an hour.
That's just what I was going to ask. Yo.
Yep. All right, Peyton Presley taking away this restart right here to go ahead and get lap 53 started. Hopefully these guys are calmed down here toward the back. Tay McDonald, John Fiker getting a little uptight right now. They'll have to go ahead and battle that out off the track right now in the cars. Is not the place to do it. Battle for position is what you want. And right now, Kevin Orlando putting the pressure on to Nick Alves. I want to go ahead and take in mind that Robert Rader pit back on lap 50. So he is kind of, like I said, setting a different example here. He's trying to offset that pit stop and see if it's going to change for him later on in the race.
Yeah, because he's in 14th right now.
Yes. And he's still definitely battling up front. Look at Justice Murphy here on the inside. Kevin Orlando, hopefully those two are talking. Oh, man. Kevin Orlando came down into Justice Murphy just a little bit there. So Justice Murphy now switches it up, rides high on the 27 Mellow Yellow machine. And away they go.
If they're talking, it might not be about racing.
Well, definitely about how that move ended up, but Justice Murphy going ahead and hanging on the outside. Man, you couldn't squeeze two cars closer together there on the front stretch. Kevin Orlando down that bottom line. Justice Murphy hanging the top, doing awesome job here. But like I said, his luck may be turning around right now.
And we have a caution.
No.
Yes.
No. And I believe. Oh man, I think Tay McDonald may have bent this one. It says Tay McDonald here, and Scott Negus toward the back of the pack. Yeah, they did call it. There may be a bunch of cautions here tonight. I just don't know how many we're going to be looking at here. Let's take a quick look at Tay McDonald, see what kind of happened with him here. Ooh. Rader. You see Rader pushing Negus. Uh-oh.
He's also trying to push the wall.
Okay, well, now we know kind of how that happened. So let's see. Because Tay McDonald kind of ran out of room. He was taking that outside line. But I want to know what happened with Robert Rader here. Why? How did he get caught up with Negus if Negus was on the bottom lane? Negus here on the bottom lane. We all know Robert Rader in the 53. Negus rides up. Oh,
he got loose.
Yeah, he collected with Kenton there, rode up, and then Robert Rader bit it right there. A lot of damage to that right front of that car. Man, he's going to be mad.
Now, I see him passing a lot of people here, but they don't let you make advancement during a caution, correct? Or
No.
Can they race still to the, like the old days, I call it? Can they race to the finish line?
No, they stopped doing that just for safety reasons. kind of when the caution comes out, where you were locked in at the place of the caution is where you need to be. It's showing Robert Rader was battling up here, and he shows him for the 8th position is where he was battling there before, and then got turned around with a couple cars sliding underneath him. And I think that's kind of why the scoreboard was showing us him still back there in that 13th spot, battling there. But he, just trying to get into a spot fast, because pit time's going to matter here. I mean, he's going to have to come down and probably sacrifice his spot and hammer out the front end of this car to see if he can save the aerodynamics. Because, like I said, with this car being the way it is and the car contact, kind of watches right front here. You kind of see how the front end's bent up a little bit. And he decides not to pit at this point. I wonder if he's thinking it's a little too early.
It's never too early to get your aerodynamics back in shape.
Yeah, right now, Berube, Daryl Johnson, David Stanfield's coming down pit, and Adam Bowden is coming down pit at this point in time. Interesting of Robert Rader not to pit here. I'll take a little look and see what we are looking at. Pace car lights. See if they are out this time by. I believe they are still on. I want to go ahead and have a little chat with somebody down here in the booth. I know he's not going to be yeah, let's go ahead and talk to him. He's pretty calm and cool and collected guy here. I know Robert Rader is pretty calm, cool, and collected, but after that one, we'll have to see. Rob, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Patrick.
All right, man. Well,
you having fun up there? We're having a hell of a race.
Well, you guys are up to 7 cautions now. I have it written down here that I would at least see 12. Hopefully we're able to straighten it out. A few cars getting bent actually multiple times here, but you got caught up in that last one, man, and that was kind of a bummer there. Looked like Scott Negus got a little loose, slid up, and you had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go there. And once you get on the brakes, I'm hard on the brakes, trying to turn underneath him while he's spinning, and there's just nowhere to go. Once you're in him, you're stuck. So kind of is what it is there. Hopefully the car's not damaged too bad. We'll find out when we barrel down into turn 1 whether or not it turns. So hopefully it does turn, because other than not, it's going to be a bad night for James Loveland here in front of me. But I think the car's okay. We'll find out. Hopefully we had a lot of beef tonight, it seems like, some grievances. So hopefully that stuff is done. We can get to some clean and green here.
All right, man. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle for you. Right now it's showing you hanging out in the 8th position, working your way toward the front. I figured tonight might be your night to be the second multi-race winner of the season. But, man, try to keep your head down and get 4-Star Industries into the podium position here, bud.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. 4-Star Industries, we got some fast guys in here. So if I can't do it, I'm sure that Nick, Kevin, or Caleb are probably fast enough to get her done. So as a team, hopefully we can get it done. Appreciate it, Patrick.
Yep. Take it easy, bud. Pace car lights are off and underway you go.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, Robert Rader in the 53 machine. As we had a little chat there with him there, Stella, really kind of interesting to see. You know, he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he's able to get it back underway, but man, we're about to reach halfway. We're almost there. We're almost there, but we just got so far to go. Out there, Blazing Wolf. Let's go 31. 31 should be David Stanfield. And we'll collect him just in a second as we get past this this restart here. These restarts always seem to be a bit of trouble for some of these guys, especially somebody like Justice Murphy here on the outside. Nick Owls right toward these restarts is where things start to count. Good job. He clears Justice Murphy there. Justice Murphy clears Nick Owls, excuse me. As we see Trevor Erhardt getting here toward the bottom. Some of these guys just battling back and forth so many times, sliding up and down. It's kind of interesting to kind of where they're going to be. Look how Nick Alves goes up there, kind of gives a little kiss to the side of Loveland, telling him this bottom line is mine. But Loveland goes ahead and pulls around him, followed by the 53 Chapman Environmental Services Ford here. But Nick Alves, look at that, how that low line holds. Definitely interesting from them. Sure, Raiders let Loveland know about that damage. Hey, man, now you have to rearrange your rear bumper here. But somebody doing bumper rearranging right now is actually Kevin Orlando.
Hey, Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, gave a shot to the backside of that 53 there. So
I think
these
he was
guys
balancing him out.
Yeah. Oh, Trevor Erhardt kind of pushes that pushes that 27 there. So now we got good bumping and rubbing here out at Gateway Speedway.
Oh.
Ooh, Nick Alves, please come back. There we go.
Yes.
Man. Hopefully Nick Alves.
That's just terrifying.
Holy
looking
cow.
at the front screen.
Hold on just a second. Justice Murphy had just passed for the lead up front here. He is the man on the move. Pit back on lap 35, same as Presley. The person who is pit the closest here in the top 10 right now is Steven Somner and Gilbert. They're in 9 and 10. And Rader last pit back on lap 5. Everybody else is pit on lap 35, so you kind of get that tire wear issue, kind of really dialing in where's it going to be, how's it going to feel. But Justice Murphy showing this Chevrolet is working. 3 Chevrolets here in the top. Justice Murphy in the 12, Peyton Presley in the 7, and Grant Thorpe in the 77. All 3 Chevrolets up front, followed by 2 Fords of Loveland and Rader. For 4 and 5. So you see Robert Rader starting to put a good bit of distance, about 7/10 of a second to Alves and Erhardt here, who are still under good battle here for that 6th position. Ooh!
Bump. Alves and Erhardt are becoming quite the little menace there between the two of them.
Yeah, the two of them
square that up.
definitely like bumping and rubbing, but you got to get that blinking under control, or Earhart's not going to know a single place that you are. But right now, under fire is Kevin Orlando, trying to see if he can hold it here on the outside of Caleb Gilbert in the 40. Both these Fords are still battling their way up toward the front here, but definitely 2 four-star industry team members here. Definitely won't want to take each other out. You want to make sure we stay clean, get your way toward the front, and really be able to get your team into the end. But right now I believe there isn't a single person from the 4-Star Industries group that is outside the top 10. Caleb Gilbert, Orlando, Alves, and Rader.
Nice.
Yes, so you want to talk about that team really having their car, their vehicles on a rail. It's making it happen. They, I believe 4-Star Industries was having a little chat there with Nick Alves about him changing over to a Ford. He is the only guy on that team with a Chevrolet, and they're blaming his blinking for that. All right, let's rotate back here a little bit where I believe I saw Berube trying to put some moves here on Scott Negus there, working his way up front. Negus now, Berube up to the 14th position behind now Michael Bennett. Bennett in his 14 Chevrolet trying to see if he can do some work. Get that Smart Wave solar vehicle, getting some speed under him here. We kind of saw him kind of connect there with the spun out car, I believe, of Park Johnson, I believe, if I remember right.
Rader's also moved up to 4th, and he's putting some pressure on Presley at this point.
All right, we'll rotate up there in just a second. Berube has cleared Bennett. Bennett's sliding back underneath, and it looks like Berube is going to pull out of that one. You're saying we got something under fire here from Rader. Rader up into the 3rd position. Presley and Loveland here, but Loveland trying to file suit there on that inside line. We'll see how these two go ahead and get their way around. And we'll make sure we get David Stanfield a little bit of time. David Stanfield's kind of back here a few laps down there in that 31. He did take a massive shot there earlier in the race. Stanfield's 7 laps down, unfortunately. Still having to kind of contend. Jeremy Burns is actually back here in the 17th position. We see him kind of fighting for his life, trying to get his way toward the front. So I know a lot of his fans out there are not happy about that one, about the early connect that these guys had.
Yeah, but down does not mean out.
Right. Right, definitely. All right, let's rotate up here to James Loveland here. Got to keep an eye on him, how he's working on Peyton Presley. What it is showing me here. David Stanfield got caught up in the wreck on like 34, if I'm not mistaken. All right, looks like Grant Thorpe's under fire. Grant Thorpe's trying to put Justice Murphy behind him, but that didn't work out. So these two, the more the two of these guys battle up here in the front, Justin Murphy and Grant Thorpe, allows Robert Rader to just kind of reel him in here. But you see a little uncharacteristically, Robert Rader's kind of dragging up the track here a little bit. And that's what I was saying. I'm wondering if he's going to start dealing with some of these issues here of that damage there in the front. We'll keep an eye on here on the top three and kind of rotate around as we go to commercial, and we'll be right back.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All right, we are back. Here we go. So we did see the battle there as you guys were watching through those commercials there a little bit of Kevin Orlando having that battle out there with Alves, and then followed behind that was Caleb Gilbert in the 40 Ford here in that Perrier car. Away he goes, now trying to put the work here on Trevor Erhardt. A little good move there. But man, really, you kind of notice these guys, the ones who have raced around a lot, the guys who practiced with each other here, are kind of nudging each other around and getting, and really not touching as much. But talking about not touching right now, Justice Murphy back to the third. Robert Rader slid up to the second position. Grant Thorpe's now running away with this one. So he's got about a 7/10 gap right here. And really, any of these drivers who've been out here before, raced before, it's okay. Stay calm, everything will happen. But I want to rotate, actually here, Stella, to Peyton Presley in the 7. Peyton Presley just clipped the back wall coming out of 4 here. I don't know if the tires are starting to loosen up. As we're watching Peyton Presley kind of falling back here a little bit, Peyton Presley pit back on lap 35. So we've over doubled what we, our laps on our original set of tires here. So it is starting to fade in fast. And you see the times dropping off. Let's see, Peyton Presley's fastest time was a 34, almost a 34 flat. And right now, that last lap was a 35.5. So we got over a 1.5-second fall off here. And really, it's interesting what these good years do is they'll start falling off and then they die. It's very odd. There's no rhyme or reason. They kind of go for just a little bit, and then just the amount of fall off is so terrible. The key for some of these guys is to change something else. It looks like Nick Alves is going to go ahead and check out. Nick Alves pit back on lap 35 as well, and he's coming down. He's got to get tires and fuel. So definitely set it up a little bit differently. We'll see how he gets back out onto the track. Still, Justice Murphy chasing down. Justice Murphy pit back on lap 35 as well as Grant Thorpe. But Robert Rader pit on back lap 50. So he may have enough fuel to hold this out. These two guys get away. Have to come down pit. Rader just continues. He's going to stay out there for another, 15 laps or so. Put the pressure on and keep it going. All right, and just as I say that, Justice Murphy looks like he's coming down pit road now.
Do you think their priority here is going to be tires or fuel, or both?
Both, 100%. You don't have enough fuel to make it to the end with only 50%, and the amount of fall off here in time, it would almost be suicide to not take tires. I may or may not, if you kind of toss it back and forth here, to only take right sides. But as much as you see these guys slipping and sliding around the track here, I don't know if I'd really do that. Grant Thorpe, look out!
Oh, no.
Yep, and that's going to bring out our caution.
That's one way to get into pit.
Oh, man, and that...
Now, why would that bring out a caution? It was a single, it was... Oh, he changed his mind.
Well, he has to at this point. If he comes down pit, it puts him at the back of the field. If he comes out now, it's going to put him back in the position where he spun out. So this may put him up in third,
Oh.
second or third place, and he'll be able to pit then in cycle. If he pits now, it's going to throw him completely out of loop, and then he's going to have to come back down.
So basically, he caused the caution and then still gets his place back, and then he can pit during the caution he caused.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to actually, let's take a look back and see kind of how he spun out. Did he get in too hot? Because remember how worn down these tires are. I don't know if he locked them up or if he hit the grass. If he hit the grass, that may have been what happened here. Let's take a look here at the 77. Oh, just hit that paint line. And you kind of saw what happened. Hit that paint line and jerked him around. Yeah. So back underway, these guys are going to go. There isn't a soul out there right now who is not pitting. Everybody pitting at this point in time. Good Lord, producer. What kind of picture is that? All right, there we go. Take a good look at how all these guys down pit road right here as they are slinging out as fast as they can. Robert Rader. I don't know if Robert decided it may be or may not be a good idea to fix any of that damage. I want to take a peek there for Sean Latin out there in the chat. Looks like he's still got some damage there on that right front. And I guess he would be the guy to know. You know, he was out there on the track. How does it feel? If it's still manageable, let's just stay out. You know, there's no sense in hammering it out a little bit. He still had about a 14.8 second pit stop. So, yeah, he didn't even let him hammer it on a little bit. If anything, that right front tire guy grabbed and pulled it off the tire.
So that would be considered an optional repair.
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely not a required. A required would be one of those ones like you see a broken toe link here, and these guys are all in pieces and upside down and things like that. That would be that would definitely be one there. So Robert Rader is now going to retain the lead. Caleb Gilbert in second. Kevin Orlando fourth. Kenton fourth. Kevin Orlando third. And Sommer in fifth. Grant Thorpe actually has dropped all the way back to the 7th position here.
Okay.
But I think he may have slid through his box. Yeah, I see about a 16.2 second pit time there. So I don't know if he slid through his box.
He must have had some rough tires. He couldn't pull into pit. He couldn't pull into his box. Slippery.
Yeah, definitely difficult for a lot of these drivers here. Don't know. I think Ray Lane is out of the race.
Yes. Bike Lane, Sirkovich, Johnson, and one more I can't remember. Romney.
We had up here in the front a good lead out of some of these guys. I think some of these guys are actually staying out. Probably pit a little bit later. Definitely probably guys that are laps down. They're going to go ahead and push their way around the car here. Let's see if we can have a little squeeze here. What do you say the 12 car? You want to have a chat with the 12 car?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Me?
do that.
No. You? Yes.
Okay, that's fine. No, not a problem. Hopefully he's got everything squared away here. Justice Murphy, you got a copy on me here, bud?
I got a copy on you, Patty.
Dude, what in the world is going on out here tonight?
Oh man, it's a little bit psycho. I kind of expected that after the practice last night, so we'll see what we got for a few more laps here.
All right, well, your luck is turning around so far. I know right now you are back here in the 16th position, but you were up there leading some laps, man. That's really a great turnaround for you here so far. You know, what's the mindset here? Because you only got about less than 40 laps to get it done.
Man, I sped down pit road earlier on pit exit. I sped and went to the back then, just kind of had to stay patient to work my way forward. It only took me about 25 laps. So we're going to try that method again and see what happens.
All right. Well, deep breath. Keep your head down. Hopefully you are able to push your way up toward the front. It's going to be a hard charge, man. It's not going to be easy, but good luck to you, bud.
Yep. Thank you, Patty.
Huh, Patty. This guy. This guy. All right. We're going to get Alex Kenton kind of watch his restart here as he's up 22 positions. How he gets going there on that outside lane. Looks like Raider got a good shot there. Kenton's still in the 89 machine. Work on the outside of Caleb Gilbert there. So, all right, now everybody up here in the front got that nice pit at lap 80. Nick Alves all the way back on lap 77. But he's back there in 13th place. So a lot of switching up you're going to see here. Raider right now pulling away. We'll see if he can hold this pace. So far, if I believe right, I don't think he's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do not know if he's going to have to make a green flag stop to make it to the end here. Justice Murphy, I believe, went almost 40 laps, and he was heading his way down pit. Now, I don't know if that was tire issue or if it was fuel issue for him, but he's going to have to battle his way back up toward the front, and Raiders got to figure out, with all that clean air out front, doesn't always mean you're getting the best fuel mileage. You know, you're getting plenty of power. You're staying out front, but really following suit in the draft will help you save fuel in the long run. So Raider, Gilbert, and it looks like Alex Kenton here is still going to have a battle out here with Kevin Orlando. Looks like Kenton got a little bit loose there on the exit of that turn 2. And Berube and Orlando are going to be all over it, like white on rice here. So here we go. Don't mark out Brandon Richardson here in the Toyota. He's going to have to make a move here too, kind of working his way toward the inside. So these guys really getting pushed around that 89 machine. I don't know if Alex Kenton, is more of a long run car, kind of waiting for those tires to heat up, and then he starts pouring on the coal here. Oh, Berube and Orlando. Look like me and him there at Charlotte, just a little miscommunication on that line, but it looks like no bent panels, a little traded paint there, and everybody's back on track and still going. Berube gets that breakaway. Caleb Gilbert only off by about 0.3 of a second off the lead, so right now those guys are running away with it 1 and 2. We're going to stay back here with Kevin Orlando and Richardson battling it out here for that 4th position. Richardson's got the line on the inside, but does he have the turn exit?
You might want to take a look at Raider and Gilbert. Getting really close.
Yeah, I see up there in the deal here, about 0.2 of a second away. Gilbert may be having a different lane entry. And what you'll see is you see 2 different driving styles here. Is that lane entry puts a lot more pressure on that right front tire. So Raider kind of backing up his turns a little bit, being real easy on his tires because he's got to, like I said, he's got to watch that fuel mileage to get to the end. About 90 laps in the books on this one. That is going to put us about 31 away from checkered flag. And it's going to be a monster stretch to see if they're going to go ahead and squeeze this one out, but Raiders still staying out front.
So do you think it's a strategy to let somebody come up and draft so they both do well and just hope in the long run you can hold them off in the last lap?
It's possible. Any kind of fuel savings from saving in the back will be pretty minute, but it's still worth the shot. But right there, the more Robert Raider sees this, the better chance of him staying out front he will. Because caution laps are nothing. Because I believe half the field got ate up in this one.
Oh.
Justice Murphy is done. He's down pit now. James Loveland is done. Come on, pace car, wake your butt up. Dang, did you see that?
I did.
Oh, what in the world?
He was like shaking it off.
He's like, okay, well, I guess I'll get out there. All right, man. Let's see. Oh man.
They caught that driver indisposed.
He is not gonna want to talk to me after this one. Let's take a look here at Justice Murphy, as I think that problem even happens farther than that. All right, we are going to start right at this angle. That's why I'll bring it to you guys. let's start at this angle here, and we see the 7 of Peyton Presley already dropping it off the apron here and starting the slide. It gets worse. Let's try to take a check up there by, yep, right there. So Justice Murphy checks up. Negus pushes the back of Loveland, and around they go, and the carnage begins.
And Alves got into 2. Okay.
Alves almost got away. Negus caught him, so now he's backwards. Kynan pushes the 7 car, Presley. Yeah, if you're Trevor Erhardt, you see him I'm just going to sit back here and let it continue. Look at Bennett. Bennett almost squeezed through. Almost. Almost squeezed through.
He's up sideways on the other car. There we go.
Yeah, he definitely is bent that car. So a lot of those guys that were toward the back of the field watch this one undo. But let's give it a shot. And I can't really blame Justice Murphy for checking up there because when you see Peyton Presley drop it off the table here, kind of watch what happens. Ooh, check up. Watch the smoke. Boom.
Yep. Click, click, click.
Yeah, him and Loveland connected, but I think that extra shot from Scott Negus there, shoving Loveland back into Justice Murphy when he let back off that brake. So what you'll see is Loveland, when he connects with Justice Murphy, you let off the brake and let that momentum of kind of the crash roll you forward. But when when you get that second shot and then it totals everybody else out, that's going to do it for a lot of drivers out here.
And to confirm, that's a tow when they just blink into their pits,
yes,
right?
That is. He's broken. He's holding that escape button and get me out of here.
Oh, escape button. Sorry, that's just kind of cute.
Let's rotate it back here.
You know the Illinois State Police use this track? They train all their new troopers in their high-speed vehicle operations and whatnot. I venture to say, don't let them see what just happened.
Let's take a ride along with Scott Negus here. I want to see kind of... Blink.
Got it. Nope.
Yeah, he definitely pedaled it through the wreck. He kind of... Yeah, he survived. He's one of the few that survived that wreck.
Nick Alves is still going.
Yeah, Nick Alves ended up backwards, but it looks like he's got some right front damage on that. See him bent up there pretty bad.
Yeah, but if Raider can drive with it, Nick can.
Yeah, I'd just like to see Nick Alves get, kind of turn his luck around. Justice Murphy's going to have to wait yet another race for, for his. I had a chat with him, and now... Now I feel bad because I almost think I did it. But hopefully Justice Murphy will be able to get another shake at this. These guys will have an off week next week, and then after that we will be at Atlanta. For these guys to kind of crunch it down. Albert Likens and Steve Sommer here, up 1 and 2. And to go ahead and shake away any idea of not making it on fuel. Everybody else is pit. Caleb Gilbert, Robert Rader is pit. These other guys up here in the front, Likens and Sommer, last pit on lap 80. And everybody else is pit back here on lap 91 to 92.
So they can definitely make it to the end.
Absolutely. They've got it. So 100% they probably got, from the times I see here in pit, for about 1487s to about that 1510 mark. Yeah, these guys got 4 tires.
And fill up.
Yeah, 4 tires, full tank of fuel, and this is going to be the shootout to the end. It's going to be the kind of the war of attrition here. Any cautions, I would not come back down pit lane. But this is awesome. Looks like Likens and Sommer are going to bring us here to our next restart. Likens in that fudge round car. See if he can go ahead and put all that weight he put on from them cookies down to the floor. 16 goes in and takes off under this one. Boy, and you kind of see what I'm talking about is getting that restart. It gets you that clear line off the run. The only thing you got to be careful of is anybody drafting behind you is now going to start reeling you in. Boy, Robert Rader's getting crazy loose here toward the back as he's getting a shot there from Brandon Richardson. Brandon Richardson, the Voodoo 29 Toyota. Oh,
Gave him a little push.
Uh-oh. Something happened to Likens up top. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You look like a rabbit in a track and field race.
Yeah, I got everybody going, and then, yeah, and then just kind of died off there. All right, let's rotate our way back up to the front here, where Alex Berube here in the 5th position is trying to run down Richardson. Caleb Gilbert's got that comfortable half-second lead in front of Rader, but after what we saw last week, I don't know what distance that Robert Rader can't run you down at this point. Those guys should be on a pretty level playing field. I believe Gilbert hasn't gotten in any trouble here tonight. But man, look at Richardson and Berube going at it. 29 and the 19 here. Both these Toyotas are in the top 5.
Yep, they just turned him around.
Kevin Orlando, hold it. Oh, man.
No.
Yep, there was going to be no caution if Berube was able to hold that one. 10 cautions here at this race. I know some of those drivers out there are pretty frustrated with this one. But let's go ahead and take a look. I'm not quite sure what happened here. Because if I'm not mistaken, if you take a close peek, so we saw Richardson and Berube here. I want you to take a peek here at the 19 machine and see what happens on the outside line. And when I mean take a peek, watch here. You see the smoke?
Oh.
That puff of smoke in front of Kevin Orlando right there really slowed him down, which shows you that Berube locked it up. A little too much brake bias there, which now has slowed him down. And up top, here we go. Yeah, and there's just not enough room.
27 had no place to go with 77 under him.
Right.
And 39 comes right up into the mix.
There's
Oh,
39.
21, check up. Check
Erhardt.
up, Black Rifle.
Erhardt, careful. Erhardt will survive. It's the 8 that's going to take him the rest of the way. Peyton Presley.
And Presley.
Doink.
Just messing up that USO car. Oh.
Yep. Now, Peyton Presley's still surviving out here, though. I want to take one more shot here from the top, full speed. Kind of show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, just nowhere to go. Just nowhere to go. Good job. Right now, Trevor Erhardt's got the horseshoe. As he lucked out of that one, just kind of scrubbing the outside here. I'm not 100% sure if Berube is totaled after that one. We do see him down pit road here. Maybe trying to take some time getting this one squared away. Right now, he's crossing that 20-second mark.
Yeah, to add to our outs, we have Loveland is now out also with Murphy.
Let's see where we are on the track. Got a little track map up there. Obviously, you see the clutch of guys. That 40 car is there toward the top. And Berube has got to get out before. If he didn't break anything, he's got to get out before that 40 car or he's going to be a lap down.
Oh. This is a great way to watch that.
There we go. And away he goes. And that really is the great, genius idea is to take as much time as you can, fix the car as much as you can, because you've got to get back out there on the track. He may be starting back here in the 16th position, but you've got to go ahead and get that thing squared away. Caleb Gilbert and Rader up here in the front row. These guys are really going to have a battle out here toward the end with only about 20 to go. 19, 20 to go. Getting this one underway. I want to see. Yeah, let's see. There we go. That's somebody I probably want to talk to. All right, there we go. And here we go. Jeremy Burns here in the booth here, bud. Jeremy Burns, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Man, back and forth. That 9 Chevrolet is doing an awesome job here tonight. You were just outside the top 10. If you kind of keep your head down, you think you're going to be able to get any farther up front?
Oh, yeah. We had a lot of damage there earlier, and we've just been working on getting it fixed. But we have a very fast number 9 disconnect Chevy Camaro, and we're going to work on getting up front here. We got 20 laps left. Definitely feel like I can get a few more spots with it all fixed up and patched up. It definitely feels fast and get into that corner. But, yeah, we're going to see how far we can get up here and see what we can do.
All right, man. Well, really, what are you kind of noticing now of the track so far? I mean, is this thing kind of plowing into turns, or are they kind of, coasting the way you would like them to be?
So the layout is the opposite of Darlington, and it feels like Martinsville. That's the best way to describe it. It seems to be the top side works pretty good, but then later in the run, it seems like everyone starts migrating towards the bottom.
All right, man. Well, you're just outside the top 10. I believe the pace car lights are off. For all your fans out there, I'm sure they're happy to see you working your way back toward the front, really getting yourself back in contention here, man. But keep your head down, keep charging.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that is Jeremy Burns with the team disconnect here. He is up right now into the 11th position. A lot of work to do, but 10 cautions. This is it's definitely kind of rough. We are getting a few green flag laps there.
You know, this track in the wintertime becomes one of those Wonder Lights drives-through Christmas displays. These guys could have gone through the display with as many cautions as they had.
Easy.
Okay. Up.
Easy. The worst thing you could say is actually having some Christmas lights up there with the color yellow, because that is what we got a lot of flying here tonight. But right now, Robert Rader, Caleb Gilbert. So these guys are going to take us to our restart here and get rid of that yellow flag. Bring out that green. That's what I want to see. These guys shoot it out to the end here, because we got 19 laps to get it done. He lets Caleb Gilbert go ahead and get in front of him, so Robert Rader's going to dial back into the second position and let Brandon Richardson and Summer kind of duke it out back here. And it's really a good idea. If you kind of see Robert Rader check up, not run Gilbert down, it kind of accordions the back of the field here and allows him to just him and the other guy. But that is going to bring out another yellow flag here.
Oh. I was thinking it was a nice, safe way for him to not go past Gilbert before the finish line, and get one of those end-of-line penalties.
Yes, it is definitely a safe way of playing it. But you kind of see how what I'm talking about is if you let it happen, it bunches 3 and 4 behind you, and now 1 and 2 are going to be the two that are going to duke it out there, there, getting underway. But let's see, as I believe. I think, yes, I am right. Kynan Jones, David Stanfield, and Bowden here, I believe, kind of get tangled up. Let's see. Oh, Stanfield turns the 85 around. Okay, it looks
We're
like
still going.
Adam Bowden survives. Not sure on the 31, though. Where'd the 31 end up?
In the grass.
Oh, man, look at the man. All right, let me see if I can roll that one back, because that 31 ended up going
tearing
everywhere.
Some turf. Definitely tore some turf. He'll have to go out there and replace his divots.
Here we go. 31. Oh, yeah, 31 just lost it kind of in the rear end there. Great angle here from the Michelin chopper view. Hits that angle. Oh, man. All right, doesn't look like any broken toe links. All tires are turning straight. So the 31 machine will survive. Blazing Wolf out there. He still remains on the track, which is always good. But that is going to bring out our 11th caution here. And when we start getting in kind of these caution fits here, I like pulling people down here into the booth and having a little chat, see how they feel, really what is the key to getting our way back up toward the front. And who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? All right, here we go. Where is he? There you are. All right, man. I don't believe I talked to Grant Thorpe much, but Grant Thorpe in the 77. You got a copy on me here, bud?
I gotcha. How's it going?
Man, that would be what I would ask you here, bud. What in the world is going on there tonight for you?
It's been chaos. Had a little bit of issues getting down the pit road. Kind of got bailed out where I spun into the grass before I had hit the commitment line, so I was kind of able to jump back up on track and not give up all my track position there. But I felt bad. Kind of screwed a old teammate of mine, a good buddy, Justice. Feel bad about that. So
yeah,
kind of put him in a bad situation.
Yeah, and Justice Murphy, man, he just kind of got totaled out from this one. Just kind of a tangle up there when we saw Peyton Presley kind of drop off drop off, but it just the accordion happened with Loveland and Negus, and took Justice out. But you know, how close were you on fuel when you spun out heading into pit road there?
I had about another lap and a half left. I always save a lot under caution, so I would have been good. Teammate actually ran out going down pit road, getting to his box, and kind of stacked us up a little bit, so we had to, as a line, just kind of push him down to his box there.
And which teammate was that?
That would be Peyton Presley.
And Peyton's been in a lot of trouble here tonight. It seems something's going on with you guys up there. I don't know what in the world's out there on this track, but it just seems to be kind of getting you guys kind of tangled up here a little bit. You are not normally a paint changer, but here you are in a Tennessee Volunteer 77 machine. What's the change from the Dollar General car?
I just want to change it up. Tennessee alumni just cracked back into the top 10 in the AP poll this week, so just trying to represent a little bit. We also play at LSU next week, and Justice is a big LSU fan, so just a little jab there because we're actually decent this year.
You may see a little purple on that other car, huh?
Alrighty there. Grant Thorpe, great job. Hey, man, real quick, before you guys get underway and get into turn 3, you want to give me some of your shout-outs before I send you back?
Just my teammates at TriStar and old teammates at BDE still work together, have a ton of fun, but fortunate that kind of ruined a couple of their races with that whole pit road issue.
All right.
We'll be back stronger than ever next week.
All right, well, with all that, bud, where do you want, BDE or TriStar?
Wherever everyone else is.
Oh, don't
I forgot
say
which
that.
one we were in.
All right,
And don't
BDE,
forget,
go.
you got next week. You got next week off, honey.
Oh, it's true.
All right, take it easy, Grant.
All right, thank you.
All right, BDE, away he goes up there. I hope that's where he wanted to be. I think that's where he wanted to be. So away he goes. Grant Thorpe, great talking to him. He always seems real happy about being out here on the track. Happy has got to be Robert Rader after that tangle up there. He got in an earlier wreck, but he's got to figure out how to bunch it up here. Gets a little different restart, and you kind of see Steven Sommer doesn't want to fall for that one, and they're already single file all the way back to that 5th position, but not for long as Grant Thorpe is now under fire here by, Scott Negus on 39. Yeah, got to be real careful there. Yeah, it looks good. So Grant Thorpe breaks away. Kevin Orlando gets away. And Scott Negus now dials back into the 7th position. But there we go. Man, just as I say that, here, these guys are starting to push their way around as Kevin Orlando starting to put some pressure there on Grant Thorpe.
Ooh.
Kevin Orlando wants to be in the top 5. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Peyton Presley who's loose. And took Brube into the wall.
Definitely have some bumping and bashing here in the last 15 laps.
Yeah, not good. Not good, especially here toward the back of the pack. Stanfield making that sling around there. We see him toward the back. Hopefully he's able to kind of keep this clean. All right. See if we can rotate back up here toward the front. Robert Rader still only about 2/10 off that back half of Caleb Gilbert here. He's trying to run him down. But we are back under caution.
He takes him on the straights, but then he backs off on the corners. Gilbert seems to have him on the corners.
Yeah, so far, and I don't know if any of that damage may be an issue for that, and I believe Kevin Orlando may have gotten caught up in this one. I'm really going to be beside myself. I don't know if this was a self-inflicted wound on this one. Let's see if we can take a peek here at the 27 machine of Kevin Orlando coming out of 4. Oh.
Yep.
Now, who collects him? Oh,
nobody.
Kind of into the inside wall.
But nobody hit him.
Yes. Great driving by all the drivers out there on the track. So Kevin Orlando will survive. Back to the 14th position. I'm sure he'd like to have that back. But Kynan Jones, I don't know if maybe he didn't see it here. Seeing from the back of the pack. I mean, I don't blame him. Once you get that sea of cars in front of you, you don't see really what's happening here. Kynan Jones, let's take a look at it. And I'm just wondering if it scared him. Guys moved. Oh, he hit Michael Bennett. He hit Michael Bennett in the 14.
Bennett hit him.
Oh, you're going to make me do it, aren't you?
Sorry.
All right, and Michael Bennett hit him. Let's see who did. All right, let's take another look here. You see up front,
He's
Alf
down.
sees it. Burns sees it. 14 turns. Clink.
14 turns.
Yeah.
That would be my personal call.
All right. Kind of gets a
Nothing-
massive shot right there, and hopefully he's able to get back out on the track and survive that run, because that isn't working too swimmingly here for Kynan.
No. No, he's kind of like a car magnet.
Oh boy. Oh man. Kynan Jones. Man, that is tough. And you know, that's somebody I haven't talked to here in a while.
Oh.
Is Kynan Jones. Let's see if we can have a little chat here with Kynan down here in the booth. Kynan, man, dude, this has been a heck of a run here for you tonight. Really, just bad luck just keeps steamrolling your way, man. What is going on out there on the track?
I wish I could really tell you, but it just seems like wherever my car is, some sort of trouble has to follow.
All right,
That's
man.
what I said.
I was gonna say, well, I'm glad I got you in that woo-saw moment, because man, I've heard stories about you, man, kind of lighting up that radio out there. It seems to be very troublesome out there on the track. What are you noticing the cars doing out there aside from what you like?
Well, out of 4, I find that for me personally, it's getting a little bit tight. Could just be because I'm getting on throttle a little bit too soon. And then out of turn 2, as you ride over the crest and come back onto the back straightaway, it's getting very light, and then you're suddenly losing the rear end. So you saw that with Stanfield earlier when he got into me. He just was trying to hold the high line, and just when it comes over the crest, he just got loose and came down into me. So just a lot of different factors of the car being tight, but also loose. Then you've got to get into the turn, which it's very easy to lock up. I'm running on 44% on the front brake, and I'm still locking up if I get into it a bit too much. So it's a lot of different factors at play.
All right, Kynan, dude, man, awesome, really full information there, being able to kind of tell us really what's going on out there. It's definitely tough for you, man. I know you are right now up in the top 20 right now. Unfortunately, 12 laps down. Still a lot of battling out of you. You know, I know you do a good job pushing your way toward the front. You just got to hopefully, get this thing to calm down a little bit and get this squared away. But, dude, man, fortunately we got an off week, and then we got Atlanta coming up. I mean, you feeling confident about Atlanta?
Well, Atlanta's a super speedway now, so anything can really happen, but it's a super speedway I typically don't really like, so it's going to be a race of nutrition as for normal super speedway, so I'm probably just going to ride in the back. But then again, I thought that at Daytona, and I ended up in the wall and with missing 3 wheels, so I might try something, probably gamble with strategy that I'm starting to do again, and it's worked out until some people just don't really pay attention and just don't take as much patience with cars on older tires. So just trying to get a bit of experience with the car, and even if it means I'm racing quite hard right now, but my racecraft, I'd say, is decent enough to give people space when needed.
All right, bud. Well, we are coming up to about the last couple turns before you guys get under green. Kynan, go ahead and give me some of your shout-outs here, man. We'll get you back on the track.
I've just really got to thank Brendan Dollar Designs. He made this design for me and have worked with him in the past. It's a great dude. You can check him out on Twitter at Brendan Dollar. Makes really nice designs for iRacing, so check him out and let him know that I sent you there.
All right, man. Keep up the good work there, Kynan.
Hey, have fun for these last couple laps. It's going to be chaotic.
All right, and there's Kynan Jones there. Away he goes. So let's get up our way toward the front. Robert Rader and Caleb Gilbert still duking it out up here up front. We'll have to see if they can get it done. 7 laps to go once we get to the line. Robert Rader a little slow on that restart right there as Brandon Richardson is trying his best to attack that miscue there by the 53 car. I believe that is the 81 of Steve Sommer there. You saw him kind of hit the apron there, break loose just a little bit. But Rader, he's got to get heat in those tires to see if he can run Caleb Gilbert down. It's been a heck of a push for some of these guys out here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Robert Rader with a win. Trevor Erhardt with 2 wins. Caleb Gilbert already has a win on the season. He may be our next multi. So right now, 1 and 2. These guys are both looking for a multi-win here tonight for the season. But Rader, there he goes.
I don't know. Here we
he goes.
go.
53 car. making it happen. Let's try to float up a little higher toward the top and see if Caleb Gilbert's got anything for him. He may try to cross him up. Ooh. Good move there by Raider there. If I were to guess, I think he would have backed up that turn to sling that 40 car toward the outside. So now Caleb Gilbert is close in tow and having to chase him down. This is only one position, but it kind of washes everything away if we go under caution again. Raiders
Do not wish that. We've already hit the 12. Somebody called for 12. We're not having any more cautions. It's a race to the finish.
I know I did. I said we would have 12 here tonight, but all right. We got 5 left to go here. 4 once we get to the line as we're getting pushed around here. Trevor Erhardt breaking into the top 3. So he's now made it into the podium position. Great job by him, just barely nudging Brandon Richardson out. Looks like we've got a couple battles there toward the back, but Brandon Richardson right now, this is the battle of the race here so far as we are back under caution.
Oh. What?
Oh, my lucky number. And I think I may have to stop pulling people into the booth here.
It was not kind.
I believe it was.
Yeah, you need to stop doing it.
Well, we did have a discussion with him about what he feels out there on the track. And this may be a perfect example of kind of what he was talking about here. Let's take a look at that 85 coming out of turn 4. He says it gets tight. Let's see if that's what happens.
But he said it gets tight and then it gets loose. Oh, yes, it gets a little of everything, doesn't it? It gets them all.
Yeah, that was definitely a bummer for him out here. I don't like seeing people kind of getting, kind of smoked out here so late in the race. You got a shot, but I know he's a few laps down, but that's what we were looking at. Is you see kind of the butt end squat down, and then all of a sudden it gets tight on him, and then so what ends up happening is the rear tires come loose and just starts skidding out of kind of gets going, kind of out there in the chat unexpected, but that snap kind of hurt the wrist. I believe it. Keep in mind, Kynan Jones is upgraded to a direct drive wheel, so they are one of the toughest on the market. So he is definitely feeling every bit of that when it starts pushing his way around. Kevin Orlando, after that last spin out here, Stella, has worked his way back into the top 10.
Nice. Very good.
All right, so I know for a lot of the viewers out there, especially my wife, likes seeing Kevin Orlando make his moves up toward the front in the 27. Look out!
Oh, okay. Somebody was going to be an unlucky dog.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I think it may be one of those ones, these guys take a drink or whatnot, and then, and you kind of straighten out the wheel, trying to get around. It wasn't intentional, I assure you of that. I've done it before. You kind of in those official races, these things last a lot longer than you expect. And, yeah, he may have been taking a sip of water or taking a drink and just started riding up the track. Had no idea that Albert Likens was coming around. If I'm not mistaken, that is going to put Albert Likens back on the lead lap.
All right.
Yeah, you want to talk about lucky break. These guys are getting it going around here.
It did. Negus is the first one that is 3 laps down. A lapped car.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I'd like to talk to. I'd like to talk to Nick Owls, but I really need him with a little bit of luck here tonight. I already messed up with Justice Murphy.
Don't do it.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and stay up here. But I guess now would be a really good time. I mean, obviously, we haven't really done it all night. He's actually talked about Vet2Track and what these guys do out there. Stella, you got something for me here?
Well, I'd start with 22 vets a day. That's how many take their own lives each day. That adds up to 8,000 people a year. So this Vet2Track was founded by veterans to help other veterans battling that PTSD, that reintegration, and they do it through camaraderie, through these track days. It gives them that adrenaline back again that they had in the field. But focus on the track, which we should discuss with these guys if you wish they focused. It clears your mind. And these vets can find some true clarity again for the first time in a very long time. it can become a reset moment, so to speak. So, it may be a single day, but the effects can be life changing for those in need. So if you're a vet or know a vet, you know, give them a contact. It's vet2 number 2 track vet2track.org. So participate, donate, or educate. Come be a part of it.
Right. Awesome shout out there for Vet2Track. You can find them at www.vet2track.org and help them out because they're helping people out. But right now, Stella, we'll have 2 when we get to the line.
That's a shootout.
Yep, one lane, one line, and right now Robert Rader's got to be getting nervous here.
But that's his favorite outside lane.
But we've seen him also on those restarts. He's got it down. So Caleb Gilbert in this 40 machine, he got to have your eyes open on this one because 53 is going to try to shoot around.
Caleb Gilbert. And once he's gone, he's gone.
It says here in his bio, I'm just like you, Ricky Bobby. Oh, that goes with the Perrier car. Oh, man. These guys every time. Great group of guys here at the Racing Revolution League. Once again, thank you guys for joining us here at Simtracks Broadcasting. You can, of course, find us at simtracksbroadcasting.com. Find our schedule out there and be able to catch up with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That way I know you guys like what you see and you want to see me again. So Robert Rader away for our next restart from that Geico restart zone. And away he goes. 3/10 gap he's already put on. Caleb Gilbert here. So now Gilbert having a battle back here with Richardson. Richardson keeping a clean line down toward the bottom. Ooh, just as I say that, gives a little nudge to that 40 car to let him know, hey, you cut me off, but I want second. Definitely, obviously, want that win, but man, it's just starting to get farther and farther out of reach as Rader is now off by 4/10 off the front of Caleb Gilbert. So Caleb real not happy about that caution that happened earlier. If Rader can get to the line, white flag is out. If everyone wants to total each other here at the end, which it looks like, I believe.
No.
Oh, Kevin Orlando has bent it. Kevin Orlando is now out. All right. So that is going to drop Kevin Orlando to the 15. No, because Robert Rader crossed the line at the white flag. So now Robert Rader has pulled his way away. He may be our race winner here with the white flag out. Rader position 1, Caleb 2, Brandon Richardson 3. Does Erhardt have anything for him? No, he does not. He's battling back here with Steven Sommer trying to get that 4th position. But Robert Rader going to be our next multi-car winner here as he pulls away in the Vet2Track 120 here at Gateway.
I don't know about you, but every time these guys come to the last lap, I feel like I hold my breath.
Let's rotate back here to Kevin Orlando while we got the chance and see why he got turned around real quick. Let's look at this replay. Oh, hit the rumble strips. Peyton Presley, good move.
Oh, excellent move.
Oh, and the squeeze by everybody else. That was a good move there. I want to know who out there on the outside line may have gotten a little more. I think Stanfield and Bowden may have connected with each other here. Let's take another angle from this shot. 31. Look at that dive. I can't blame him much for that. Net code. Did you see that? Oh, man. Stanfield and Bowden get turned around. Stanfield remains. Bowden away. Man, that was...
But they will finish the race. I mean, they're still on their wheels.
Yes, they are. All right, let's get to this podium setup here and have a little chat with Wade. These guys got it done here tonight. Brandon Richardson coming in 3rd, Caleb Gilbert in 2nd, and Robert Rader in the number 1 position here. What a great race by a lot of these drivers out here tonight.
They definitely raced hard, I'd say, from the start to the finish.
Yep. And these guys make it so hard for me. Supposed to be down here waiting on me. I'm sure the 4-Star Industries team are really kind of giving each other an earful here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and
I do believe I see Brandon Richardson, Caleb Gilbert, and Robert Rader all in your waiting room.
Oh, yeah, look at me. All right, let's go ahead and get Brandon Richardson down here into the booth. Brandon Richardson in that 29 machine here Let's go ahead and get him unmuted that these guys have undone. Brandon Richardson, how was the track out there tonight, bud?
It's pretty slick, honestly. It was pretty crazy. It was fun, though.
All right, talk me through, kind of the battle that you've had with Erhardt. I know you've been battling with Alves. I knew you were battling with Sommer there. Did you think you had these guys?
Honestly, no. But I think I kind of had Summers. And Alves was all right, but Erhardt, I think he kind of overdrove it there on the last turn. And I was wanting the interview, man. I was wanting the top 3, so I'm glad I got to bring it home.
Yes, this will be your first top 5 finish here. Right now, you are 10th in points. I see you participated in every race. 2 top 10s so far. That is going to give you a top 5 and a top 10 here for tonight. In that 29 Voodoo machine, that thing was crazy tonight. A lot of cautions, but you went ahead and kept your head down, and you had your way to get toward the front. Some of these guys say it's like a backwards Darlington. How do you feel about it?
That's how I feel about it too, except it's just kind of flat. But yeah, that identifies it pretty well. It races like it too. I mean, there's really just, you kind of have to just give and take a little bit, which really wasn't going on early on.
All right, man, dude. That Toyota really was on a rail here tonight. I saw a lot of close racing, that you had with everybody. It was just, it was a lot more refreshing to see you get up here into a podium position. I've seen you kind of get bumped and banged around, and you trying to get your way up front, or you kind of hanging in the mid pack, and then there's just something you can't avoid. But here you are in 3rd place here at Gateway. Did you think your car was as fast as it was going to be tonight to go ahead and secure this position?
Honestly, no, I didn't, because I didn't have a great qualifying run. I was pretty decent in practice. And then me and Caleb got into it early on. I'm not really sure what happened. The caution came out for something, and we were kind of all checking up, and he just kind of came and hit me on the left side right there, and it gave me like 4 minutes of optional repairs. I was able to do all that, get my lap back and all that, and me and him finished 2 and 3. So I guess we both got lucky. Maybe it made our cars faster. Probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know, but it was fun.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. You guys, let's go ahead and celebrate that vacation a little bit. You guys are going to have an off week and then Atlanta following that. How are you feeling about Atlanta?
Feeling good. I've actually, I'm not even sure if it's the new layout or the old one, but if it's the new layout, I haven't run it yet, so that'll be exciting.
Okay, it's showing on there as the Super Speedway, so I would assume that is going to be the new one.
Oh boy, sounds fun. Lots of tempers right there.
yes it is. All right, Brandon Richardson, go ahead and give me your shout-outs, bud, and let's get you on the road.
John Mustaine at Voodoo Paints for sure. Everybody on my Twitch stream, my buddy Matt, my girlfriend Kelly, and my parents, all that good stuff, and all my SER teammates.
All right, fantastic job out of you tonight, bud, and hopefully it should definitely move you up in the points race. We'll see after this race boils down where it puts you, man, but great job tonight, and we'll see what you can do in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem. All right, and that is Caleb Gilbert there. Excuse me, that's Brandon Richardson there. I'm getting way ahead of myself because I'm looking for Caleb Gilbert. And Caleb Gilbert
that's the first guy I've heard so far say, I really wanted the interviews.
Yeah, you definitely want to be up here toward the top. It's a lot harder for some of these drivers to get their way into the top 3. I mean, the Racing Revolution is a tough league, and and really somebody who's putting on a great show. Looking for his multi-win along with Trevor Erhardt was Caleb Gilbert in the 40 Ford. Caleb, dude, led some laps, had it underway. Just what couldn't you get together to get to kind of get Robert Rader behind you again?
Yeah, so I was lucky to be in the situation I was in at the end of the race. I had really good long run speed. That's where I was good at. All week, practice, last night, today, I could not run under a 34 flat. Like, that was the limit. And I get out there in the lead, and I'm cruising along, and I look in my rear view, and Robert's there, and I know it's time to go. I was able to run like 33.7s, 33.8s. I mean, I was putting down the best I had in me. And eventually when you're doing that, you haven't been doing it, you're going to make a mistake. One mistake is all it took. And I'm not going to race Rob dirty. He's my teammate. So that was a lot of fun. And I'm happy to just be up there after what I did on lap 3. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah. Awesome job, Knight. You are 5th in the points. This is going to go ahead and knock down another top 5 for you. Definitely keep you up toward the front. That may bump Orlando and Grant Thorpe and then move you up into the 3rd position here, man. Super fast out of you tonight. Really, what was the key to staying clean? Was it just the up front position you had, or is it a different way you had the car set up?
So I was on the same strategy as Rob and Kevin. And I made a mistake early when I lapped down, got the lucky ducks. That changed things for me a little bit. Hang back, 10 seconds off the pack. We knew we had a stage coming. And from there, it's kind of playing alternate strategies from everybody else. And then by the time that came around, slowly but surely moved my way up. And then from there, we were able to be the second car on fresh tires and kind of just take advantage of that each time.
All right, man. Fantastic job out of you tonight. Like I said before with Brandon Richardson, you guys are off next week. You guys may do a fun race kind of on the outside, won't be broadcasted. But regardless, either way, you guys are going to be heading to Atlanta right after that. Are you feeling pretty confident you could be the 3rd multi-winner in that one?
We'll have to see. I'm probably going to be stuck pushing again. My favorite pastime. Be an interesting race. I don't know how many of these guys have ran Atlanta with the new configuration, but like 15 laps and it starts to get real sketchy, especially pushing. So that's going to be a fun one, and it's like Daytona, Talladega. You're just you're hoping for the best.
Yeah, but I heard word through the grapevine. You guys pick almost 15, 20 miles an hour off what you were before. So, and you were, and in the times, I think there were already almost 180, 190 miles an hour on that track. So.
Oh yeah. It's quick. The reactions, they come a little bit quicker than the typical plate race. Everything happens so much sooner, so got to be on our toes.
All right, man. Go ahead and make your shout-outs, and let's get you on the road.
Thank you, Chapman Environmental. Of course, you guys up in the booth for doing this. It's awesome. Everybody watching, Jeremy Burns and his crew, those guys, hopefully they're cheering for me at some point. I don't know, but they get rowdy.
Yeah, yes, they do. Unfortunately, it looks like Jeremy Burns actually back there in the 12th position where he started the race. He ended up getting in a lot of trouble up there later on in the race, but he was able to bounce back. But Caleb Gilbert, great job tonight, bud. And I can't wait to see what you got for us in Atlanta.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all then.
All right, Caleb Gilbert there. We're gonna cut to a quick commercial as we always do, and we'll be right back. We're going to have a little chat here with Robert Rader in the 53 Chapman Environmental Services car.
One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
All right, and the man who can get it done, Robert Rader in the 53 Ford Chapman Environmental Services car. Robert, man, what a insane race here tonight. I believe we had over 13 cautions. Kevin Orlando wrecked out last lap. You end up with damage on the right front and still win the race. How in the world did you win with the damage on the right front?
It was all the motivation that Christian O'Neill gave to me in the chat last week when he was talking all that trash for Jeremy Burns. So, I just thought about that and made the pass on Caleb, brought it home. No, seriously though, I don't know. It was really touch and go after the wreck because we had a fair amount of damage on the right front, I felt like. And I asked Michael Bennett what it looked like to him, and he said it looked, there was obviously some damage there, but it was unsure how bad it is. And so thanks, Michael Bennett, for helping me out there. But in these cars, a lot of times when you hit something that hard, you either have no damage or you have a lot of damage. And I had some damage, a lot more than I thought I did actually when I came down pit road. But I think it really did affect the car. A lot of our main competition was involved in other stuff tonight, gotten wrecks or had other issues. Otherwise, it may not have been possible. So, I think it's just circumstances and also, shout out to 4-Star Industries. We're working really well as teammates up there, just keeping control of the race. Goal obviously was for one of us to win. So, if it wasn't me, it was hopefully going to be Caleb. So we treated each other with a lot of respect out there, and I think that had a lot to do with it too. If it was somebody else, maybe neither one of us would have finished in the top 5.
Yeah, but what you were able to put on for the past 6 weeks so far, there's yet to be a race that you haven't placed the top 10. So far you have 6 top 10s after today, 5 top 5s, and 2 wins. This is the start. Is this kind of run of the mill? Is this kind of child's play out here, or are you really finding a whole lot of competition that's really giving you some trouble out here?
It's definitely not child's play, man. We have a big time list of diverse drivers in here, and obviously we do have a decent skill gap from the front to the rear of the field. I think anyone does, but our top 5 guys are hard to beat. Our top 10 guys are hard to beat. So I think anybody who's really in a playoff contention spot right now is in contention to win every week. A lot of my success so far this season has just been avoiding mistakes, although I did make a big mistake and lost Auto Club because of that. Still barely pulled out a top 10 there kind of by accident. So, it just a lot of it's situational, and it's not always all in your control. And there's probably 5 guys in here who could have finished top 10 all week if something didn't happen to them.
All right, man. Well, you guys finally get a break. I think everybody gets to, kind of get to the practicing with the off week coming up, and they'll be practicing at Atlanta Super Speedway that you guys have coming up after that. How's your confidence level going into that? So far you're on a roll. I'm sure it can't be, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel.
Well, the Super Speedway racing's okay. I'm pretty good at it. Atlanta Super Speedway I'm not really a fan of, so we'll see. I also wasn't a fan of this racetrack when we showed up tonight either, so I won't say anything stupid about how I'm not going to win or anything, but we'll see. That's going to be one of those races where anything can happen, and there's a lot of luck involved. I've had a lot of luck this season, so maybe it'll turn my way, but it's if we could just skip it and go on to whatever the next track is, I'd be okay with that too, to be honest with you, Patrick.
Oh, dude. Well, I would definitely wouldn't want to knock another win out of your hands here, but that is, it's starting to become monotonous. You get up here in the top 3 all the time, and you and I just have almost conversations, Maybe one time we'll talk about fishing or something, or what else we can do to the car out there to try to slow you down. But right now, that 53 Chapman Environmental Services car is just fast, and you behind the wheel is making it happen, bud. But let's go ahead. Let's get your shout-outs, man. Wrap this one up.
Yeah, big shout-out to the team, 4-Star Industries. We had mixed success tonight, but everybody had decent speed. Like I said, just a lot of good teamwork there at the end to take care of each other, and that's why we were able to get the 1-2 tonight. So big shout out to Caleb and Nick and Kevin for all the teamwork every week. And then obviously got to give a shout out to Chapman Environmental Services for sponsoring the league, sponsoring the car. All these broadcasts wouldn't be possible without them, as well as Ultimate Siding and Gutters, who also has chipped in to help us out. helps tremendously and helps us be able to broadcast these things with beautiful transition. SimTrack's broadcasting, thank you guys. You do an excellent job. And then always Butt Kicker for an awesome product, but also being the group of people who are putting up our grand prize for this season. Winner gets a butt kicker. It's a pretty big deal. So yeah, just I mean everyone involved. We had some stuff go on tonight. I'm not gonna say too much because we haven't had a chance to really review it yet. But there's a little bit of ugly stuff we're gonna have to take care of. Not something you want to see. So sorry for anybody who's a fan, anyone involved in that. But we'll take care of it, and we'll be back next week for hopefully some good, clean racing.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, I was going to say, I know how you guys kind of somewhat work on the inner workings. I know this is the league is the way it is because of great racing, and I know you guys don't let anything get in between that. But Robert Rader in the 53, great job tonight, bud, and I'll see you at Atlanta.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Patrick, and Stella, appreciate you as well. I'm going to
Thank
go head out of here and slap some people around. Catch you guys next week.
All right, good job, bud. All right, that is Robert Rader there, Stella out there. Hey, once again, we're taking another win here tonight. But that's something, just seeing that 53 just kind of really sink it and bring it home here tonight. But I want to make sure we go ahead and give a shout-out for all those guys who may or may not have made it so far. Let's take a look here at the race results. Up on the screen, Rader, Caleb Gilbert, Brandon Richardson in third, Trevor Erhardt in fourth, Steven Sommer fifth, Nick Alves, Alex Brube, Kenton Thorpe, Tay McDonald. Hey, look at that. Tay McDonald fought all the way up to the 10th position. Peyton Presley in the 11th, and Jeremy Burns nailing the 12th position here. Michael Bennett 13th, Likens 14th, 15th is Kevin Orlando. He wants to kind of close his eyes and erase the last 15 laps there for him. Scott Negus in the 16th, Daryl Johnson 17th, and in the 18th will be David Stanfield here. Let's rotate to the very back of the field here. David Stanfield. And I'll bring Adam Bowden, Kynan Jones. We kind of talk with him. And a lot of guys you didn't want to see getting folded up, along with some of the other ones I've already mentioned. James Loveland, Justice Murphy 21 and 22, Sirkovich 23, John Fike 24, Ray Lene in the 25th, Parker Johnson 26th, and Logan Romney in the 27th position. Great race by all these gentlemen out here tonight, but it really was quite the pile-up here toward the end. But, man, I can't say any more here, Stella, other than, I really appreciate everything, Chapman Environmental Services and the Racing Revolution has brought here. And now everybody out there in the chat for SimTrack's Broadcasting, you guys tuning in. Like I said, once again, join us at simtracksbroadcasting.com. You'll be able to find everything that we're doing there. I'm always busy. I believe so far, I'm on 6 days this week. So everybody getting a little piece of SimTrack's Broadcasting. Patrick here in the booth. Stella's going to take the time off. Enjoy your 2 weeks off. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of party or have a break here before I wrangle you back in for our time at Atlanta for the Erhardt Group 200. And that is going to do it for us tonight, guys. Like, subscribe, let me know. I see you guys out there in the chat. I at least see 12 eyeballs still here, so I hope you guys sure have subscribed, right? All right. Going ahead and signing off for tonight, guys. Take it easy. Be kind. Be nice. Have fun, guys, and I'll see you next week.